And we are live. What's going on, everybody? We got Matt from Bay Area Beard Co. in house today. It's good to see you, Matt. What's going on, man?
Not much. Just kind of like an easygoing Thursday night. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's Thursday. You know, it's one day closer to the weekend. It's nice. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I had kind of today off, but I slept most of it off. I worked all night last night on a Unix patching thing. So IT work is never ending. So yeah, I was up until it's crazy. It was like up until like 3 or 4 in the morning. I am just too old to be doing this. Just crazy. So how are you doing? Yeah, how are you doing, James?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, well, my weekends don't start until Monday, Tuesday. Those are usually my days off. So
that's right. Well,
Saturday and Sunday morning, and then I'm off on Monday, Tuesday. So
yeah, well, that's that's the life of the restaurant business, right? Totally the life of the restaurant business.
Yeah, weekends are still going.
Yeah. I have kids coming in and out. Sorry. But yeah, we got the full house these days. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. That's cool, man. So I absolutely have heard nothing but good things about your company. Can you tell us a little bit about your company and how you got started?
I mean, I guess the start of it's not probably not the most uplifting, but then again, it is. Father passed away in April of 2019. Obviously, doesn't seem as recent now as it did before, but he was always a big spiritual influence in my life, and always instilled a certain amount of love for God, God's word, since a young age. And after he passed away, I think, taking care of him for a few years because of his decline with dementia, I was looking for a purpose. And honestly, as everybody in the beard community knows, once you grow a beard, it just becomes a talking point. It honestly became a persona and who I was. And so that was kind of the purpose I wanted to fulfill, and also kind of remember my father and the values that he instilled in me my whole life. Kind of like to honor him a little bit. So I think in September I started Bay Area Beard Company and released Biblical Beard Oil, and I guess Biblical Beard Balm and Biblical Beard Butter as well. So I'm pretty excited. The way that's gone. I did not foresee how this was going to go. I didn't really have any expectations, and literally everybody has been amazing. I could not, give back as much as I feel like I've already gotten from everybody. So, yeah, about where we're at a year and a half later.
That's awesome.
When he first started, it was well, at the time I think it was I saw you, but I think Barbara Joe saw you as well. So we kind of saw each other. He probably saw you first, and I saw you not long after. But I think even meeting up with you and just your products alone, the way that, the tubes and kind of just being something new nobody's ever seen. I think it kind of came out swinging pretty good, even though you didn't know what you were doing still.
No, I think you may have seen me before Joe did, because I know we met up in mid-December. Yeah. That Kansas City beard guy was, I think, honestly the first. He was Dave. He was contacting me before I was even ready to release the products. Sent him some stuff, and then Joe saw his little review and pumped it up. But we met up, I think, in between there. And I think you got stuff that I never even really released. I was still tinkering with stuff. So you were also one of the first. You're the first person that met up with, and exchanged phone numbers and have hung out with. So you're one first as well. You had a different first.
What is that? Oh, well, other than just meeting up. But that's cool. That's really cool. And you're from Tampa?
Based out of Lando Lakes in Tampa, Florida. So yeah, the Bay Area.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, he's not far from like Joey Hookham. He's not far from him.
Oh, right on. Very cool. So my grandma grew up in Clearwater.
Okay. Yeah,
So, yeah.
When we relocated from Columbus, Ohio, I graduated from Largo High School, which is essentially in Largo, but it's really near Clearwater. So in that area.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area. I love it. I used to go down. They ended up like when they went to Tucson, Arizona. So that's how we ended up in Arizona. But then they went back east, and then they settled in Sarasota for like the last 20 years of their lives. So really cool. I just love dig that area. I have a lot of cousins that still live down there because they moved down there. So still lots of fun. I miss the crystal white beaches and all the fun stuff that goes on. I have a good friend that still lives in Tampa. They love Busch Gardens. That's their big thing to go do.
I believe Clearwater Beach. Oh no, I'm sorry. I think it St. Pete Beach. May have just been named the #1 beach in the United States, and I think it's a top 5 beach in the world. I'm not sure of the publication, but it was named the top 5 beach in the entire world.
Isn't that amazing? It's just, really cool.
Yeah. Us that live here, and we get the opportunity to go any weekend or any day that we want. We don't really appreciate it as much as everybody else that gets to see it for a weekend out of the year for a vacation, Right. So
I think I've actually only been to Clearwater Beach like once. I think.
Yeah, we went. Go ahead.
No, it's a gorgeous, tourist area. It keeps getting nicer, but St. Pete Beach, I think, is a little more relaxed for sure.
Yeah, we used to hang out at Siesta Key and Lido. I guess there's Lido Beach or something like that. I remember going down there for spring break when I was a kid. Good memories, very good memories. So you grew up in Columbus, of all places. That's an interesting place to be from.
Yeah, I was born in San Diego, California. I know that's what a lot of people think when they see Bay Area. It almost has a double meaning.
Yeah.
But, I grew up in Columbus, and then just like a lot of the people that supplant here in Florida, parents couldn't take the cold anymore. And they lived here before I was born. So they yanked me out of high school and came down to Florida.
Oh, nice. I totally get that. So that's another Cali kid, even though you probably weren't raised there, but so I tell people this. So you're from LA area or Orange County, right?
San Diego. I'm not sure what county that might be.
Yeah, San Diego County, but you're from Riverside, right? Or Orange County, James?
My dad worked in Orange County, but I'm in I guess it was Garden Grove I lived in, so I guess I'm not sure what county that was actually.
It doesn't matter. It's still LA area. LA area, yeah. It's yeah, I love California. So we're in Arizona. So California is our vacation spots. So we don't get to go to Florida. There's that big meetup that's coming up with Dan, and I'm like, coming up like really quick. And I'm like, I just plane tickets out there would be a lot of money. If it was in San Diego Disneyland or LA Disneyland, Anaheim Disneyland, Anaheim Disneyland, it'd be awesome. all these people meeting up, that'd be awesome. But are you planning on doing that, Matt?
Yeah, I think I had someone off Instagram mention it, and I'll be there. It's about an hour and a half drive for me. Yeah. Disney Springs is probably a little closer than like your Universal Studios. Disney is probably the first of the resorts you can get to in Orlando. So it's not too far into Orlando. It's the first thing. So, that'd be exciting.
Yeah, very much so. You're going James, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get up there. I think I requested it off. Hopefully I'm still able to get it off with some of the Legos at work. We had a couple little Legos at work, so hopefully I can kind of squeeze that in to get that off.
Yeah. Well, everybody understands.
Yeah.
So this is the segment of the area where I'm going to say that he's going to make the amazing desserts and he's going to show off his dessert because I've just given up on desserts. And today I just brought an apple.
You're kind of like rushed in there. You're like, look at me grab it.
Look at this. I got an apple. I had ice cream. I was sitting there just enjoying because Christy brought home some Andy's ice cream. I don't know if you guys have that on the East Coast, but it's like frozen custard ice cream type of stuff. Oh, yeah. And we get that like every day for Van, who's my grandson, while he's here. And so we absolutely love it. And so I ate it already. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess I already ate it. So now I can't have anything to eat for the Beards of Dessert show. So I'm just going to bring a healthy apple because that's my new mantra. An apple a day will keep the doctor away.
You're going to carry it around. You're going to have to eat it in front of us. You're going to have to show him it, prove it.
That's right. Look at him. He's eating an apple. It looks really healthy.
Yeah.
Would have been even better if it was like a...
Daniel's like, for dessert, I prepared for you an apple.
Yeah.
Whatever you prepared is I like. Have you ever had that friend that like, hey, yeah, whatever he did, yeah, I duplicated whatever the chef did there. He made something amazing for all of us today.
Oh man,
what did you make, sir? What did you make, James?
I did the strawberry shortcake.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Homemade strawberry shortcake or from one of those little store bought? That's the one.
We already had the strawberries and I grabbed some heavy cream and I did the rest of it kind of thing. I kind of whipped up a little bit of like a little shortcake or a shortbread kind of thing at work. So
nice. I cheat. I'm just gonna let you know I cheat on those. I just buy those little store bought round ones and then I just throw it in there. They're easy. And I'm not sure if you did or not, Matt. But if you have an apple or an orange or
I know that
at least I knew where.
No, I didn't. I mean, we conversated about it today. I didn't bring anything that could be considered actual dessert, but I think some people in the beer community might consider this dessert. Modelo, maybe, perhaps. I mean, it's dessert to some people.
That works. Modelo is a adult dessert beverage. We have all declared that it is a fine beverage after a meal. Yes, I agree. Or even during a meal with tacos. Yeah.
That would be a really good topic. If you eat something after a meal, no matter what it is that considered dessert?
It's a dessert drink. I know that you have a dessert wine. And then you have your aperitifs, right? I think that I think you could consider it if you're eating it afterwards, not during the meal, because during the meal, it's a whole different thing. But I miss Mexican cerveza. I miss a lot of that. Modelo, Dos Equis. I'm a big Dos Equis. I was the Amber Dos Equis fan. I absolutely loved it. And out here, it's so good. I mean, I don't know if it's just because I live in Arizona and Mexican beer is everywhere, but absolutely love it. But I stopped drinking, so it's all good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's all I had available.
Nothing wrong with Modelo is actually really good. I had it in my favorite Modelo store. I was in Nogales, Arizona, and it's actually Nogales, Mexico too. So we went over to the other side of Nogales and we were in this bar and this guy comes in with this thick Modelo bottle. And I was just like, it was hot, miserable walking through Nogales. And Nogales is one of those like border towns. I don't know if you guys have anything. Have you ever been to something like that? Like it's like Tijuana, those little border towns that are in the Southwest in Texas, where it's just, it survives on kind of the junky stuff that they give you, like blankets and stuff. I mean, they're not horrible stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it's like blankets and stuff for tourists. So we were at this touristy place and we were walking around and it's just a miserable, like they're selling the same stuff over and over. Blanket, something with ironwood in it and some cheap jewelry. And it was hot and we had a cold Modelo. And I was just like, yeah, this is the place. This was nice. Good Mexican food, though. Excellent Mexican food.
I bet in Arizona for sure. Or Texas.
Yeah, Texas, Texas is awesome for. Well, they have that Tex-Mex. Tex-Mex is a completely different. Like Southwest has that Sonoran vibe, where Cali has that whole, the seafood vibe, that whole Baja California stuff, which I absolutely love. Yeah, do you guys have Rubio's out there?
I don't think so.
No, I don't.
It's like fish tacos and fish burritos, and it's all like Baja California stuff. So they have a lot. It's kind of a chain that's moved from there, like Numero Uno's in San Diego, and then the rest of them are now starting to franchise out into California and Arizona, and hopefully you guys will get them. They're really excellent fish tacos. But that whole Baja stuff, I love Baja food. So
Everett says, question for the foodies: Monte Cristo dessert or dinner? I guess you could be both. I mean, it's like a French toast ham and cheese sandwich. So I mean, it's like a mixture of both.
Oh, you put powdered sugar on that. I feel like that's dessert, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a savory dessert, I guess you could say. It's got ham and cheese.
Yeah,
savory.
It is savory. I think that stuff is savory. I love that stuff. So I was thinking Monte Cristo, like the cigars or something there for a second. There I saw the food. Yeah, the food is. Are you guys like pancakes on every once in a while? Pancakes for dinner is like your kids and everybody around you is like, why didn't we not think about it? But you can only do it every once in a while because then it becomes too cliche.
I used to do that as a kid. Well, my mom used to do like either pancakes or she used to do breakfast for dinner, like either French toast or pancakes and then eggs and whatever you have. She used to mix it up. But yeah, I used to do that like as a kid, have like breakfast for dinner.
We have kids today that still think that that's the thing. They still think that that's like, we're having pancakes for dinner. They're like 20 years. They're like 20 years old. They're like acting like it's Christmas.
We had dessert for dinner and then a dessert after dinner. Like,
it's too much. Too much. My brain is going crazy.
Just a lot of cake.
It is.
That's essentially pancake. I mean, it's cake for breakfast, right? It's just like just give the kid cake. It's like it's like. Well, it's like, oh, I'm not allowed to have cake for breakfast. How about fried cake?
Put sugar on top.
That's acceptable. I mean, it doesn't make much sense, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
So biblical. So the website is biblicalbeard.com. Again, so you're tying, and I know that your oils have some biblical references. So talk to me about your oils. Where's kind of the inspiration behind them? I'm always into the whole, like, what inspires you to make an oil? Like when you're sitting there thinking, I'd really like an oil with this. What's kind of, you go through your like scent profile, whatever your head game is for creating a scent, and then what goes into the naming and bottling of everything.
Initially, I think my very first scent, which is correctly named Genesis, I really like. I'm a coffee fan. Starbucks, dark roast, cold brew, you name it. And I believe my first beard oil balm that I ever purchased was Caveman beard oil off of eBay. And I bought coffee, I think orange, and then they had something else. And they all had like Neanderthal caveman names and weren't really strong smelling. And that was my entire experience with beard products. And I didn't know how to use them. And I just, I purchased them, thinking to try and take care of this and everything. And so when I started Bay Area Beard Co., the first scent I wanted to make was something I liked. Actually, the first three were scents that I had tried that I wanted to do better, or recreate and kind of like a craft way that I think I could improve. So the first one was coffee, and I know Tampa has a really, really big Cuban tobacco heritage. It's where they kind of built their industry. There's still historic buildings in downtown Tampa and South Tampa. For the buildings are renovated cigar factories. So that was the first. So I did put a lot of heart into that first scent. It wasn't as much. The idea was to do biblical themed scents, the scents themselves. But that didn't really work. There's only so much I thought I could work with. So what I would do is just get really creative and then name the scents, biblical stories, meanings, words that have, a lot of feeling and history to me. So Genesis, Exodus, and then from there, I actually did start getting into finding profiles and notes that had a lot of meaning biblically that can tell a story. But as far as it's really just inspiration, things I like, things I might come across in daily life, and just kind of just play around with it and tinker with scents and fragrances that I think will go well together, and just kind of try and get a little wild and try and do things that you don't see in the beer community. I try, and if I see something that I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea, I'm going to go way different route with it because it's going to be something you've never seen. And I think I do that a little bit with some of the profiles.
That's what I like too. Is like because I've checked out the website even after you put it up, and even as time went on, where you kind of added more scents. You do kind of go talk about like the scent profiles, and even in the scent profiles, you talk about, like, say, Genesis, and then you'll tell a little bit about Genesis, or Exodus, or you tell a little bit about Exodus, or Sukkot, or whatever. So you give a little bit of the history, so you kind of bring the biblical beard into like that. So you kind of let people know, whether people might not be religious or not. Kind of let people, it kind of gives a little bit of a story, and I think it's cool. A cool little kind of fact. What I'm saying? Like, if somebody didn't know, now they know. It's just a little bit of a, what your knowledge is about it.
And I mean, and that was the cool thing. I mean, if any of my friends or anybody I surround myself around, I get really passionate about the word. I didn't want to necessarily do that with this, just because that's something that a large majority probably aren't spiritual or have a relationship with God or have their own certain beliefs. But I do want to be able to share what has gotten me this far, and what has brought me prosperity and happiness, and just sharing like the little, or even if you are a Christian, like or have a relationship with God, maybe some of the really cool nuances that maybe I found in the Bible, or cool stories through some trivia. And when I do develop a scent, like Exodus, didn't start off, I didn't have Exodus. I wanted it actually came about because I had an old fashioned that was it's like he dipped the orange peel in alcohol. I think it was like 151, and he lit it on fire. And then the bartender then he would blow out the orange, and you have this smoky orange essence that just and he rubs it around the rim and then puts it in the glass. So every time you take a sip, you have this toasty, smoked orange that is just amazing. Just you get the aroma before you even drink it. And I like that. So that's kind of where I got the idea for Exodus. I didn't name it Exodus until I really kind of felt that it fit. Scorched orange, burning bush. So a lot of the names just kind of really fit when I thought, how would this fit biblically? And so it's almost like I go backwards, and it always seems to work out. So,
yeah,
God bless for that.
Exactly. That's cool. I remember sitting in, what I really like about that is the fact that it brings me back to a lot of my Sunday school days, growing up, and I miss those stories. There's a lot of really great biblical stories, and having a reminder of that is always kind of a cool thing. It's like the sense, and then also the name of the bottle kind of, maybe kind of sets off a memory for people. I love that. I think my favorite memories are sitting in Sunday school, and enjoying those stories growing up. Because I used to have the picture book, the Bible picture book, and they had all the stories and they had them illustrated with pictures. I loved it. Absolutely loved that book. And that's what we'd all the Old Testament stories were always like the best because they had all the pictures and they had like a storyline that would go along with it, of course, for a kid. Mm-hmm. And a kid, I just absolutely was enthralled with those. I would sit and read that just for the stories themselves. So that's really cool that you're able to bring that. Especially also bringing in your spirituality. I think bringing your spirituality into something like that is always awesome.
Yeah. What brings kind of what you're passionate about into something more, another passion that you enjoy doing is, making products and kind of putting that together.
I think a lot of people can appreciate just kind of, maybe some of the artwork. I know that the packaging is really popular. That's one of the things I wanted to do was kind of be different with the packaging, kind of be eye-popping to the community. But just subtle, but yet, spiritual, and, just have it, people ask questions, instead of being in your face and here's what I believe and here's what this is, just to have people just say thank you and really appreciate what you're doing and or engage in a conversation, or maybe just reach out and have a question. And that's all I could ask for, so.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
That's the one thing that I've really gotten. I think that, and James, you're in the community just as, or maybe a little longer than I was, but I enjoy that about the brotherhood that we have with just, who would know by growing a beard, starting a company, that there's so much, I think there's so much mentorship. There's so much brotherhood involved in this community, and focusing on that positivity is so amazing. And there's just so many really positive people in this community that are there for you, and they may all have different beliefs or some different spiritual choices or different paths in life. But it's really great that we can all come together as one and be able to celebrate companies like yourself that are making unique products, and then also telling a story about who they are. I think that's awesome. And then sharing spirituality is always, that's what I'm all about. And I'm definitely not biased towards my own beliefs. I think that just being able to share that spirituality with others and your spiritual path that helps you is a plus in life. If those are the things that you can help other people with, and that's what this community, in my opinion, is about.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. And I mean, I was worried about doing that up front, and creating a brand that might in a way alienate people who don't have a relationship with God or have certain differing beliefs that might not coincide, and that hasn't really happened at all, which I was I want to stand behind and beside what it is I believe, and have fun with it and be passionate about it and share it. And really, it's gone very smoothly just because, people like the positivity, and because it's positive that, that's how we flourish in this community is being positive, and it's, helping others, and content creators and companies are constantly giving back to each other. So, again, I didn't envision this because I didn't know about the bearded community. I wasn't really familiar with beard products initially. So the fact that I've kind of like fallen in and just, it's been such a smooth ride.
I know. What fun, huh? What fun.
So definitely a big rabbit hole.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. I try to describe. My wife isn't that involved in this stuff at all, and so I have these stories. I always have a story for her, and she's like, Oh my goodness gracious.
Over
over beard oil. I'm like, yeah, over beard oil. We're talking about this, we're talking about that, and this person's making that awesome product, and they're like, what's funny is when you love something in your family and then they absolutely hate it, and you're like, this is amazing. What do you mean as you hate it? It smells like gasoline. What's your favorite scent so far? I mean, I'm sure that you probably will say everything, but I mean, you're probably dear to your first, but is there one of your other ones that's some of your favorites, or maybe some new products that are coming out that are really exciting for you?
Someone had asked me that, and a lot of people, my customers that reach out ask me, what's your favorite? And I jokingly will say that, like, I love all my children equally. But I will always say Genesis. I don't know how I came up with that. It just seems to still work. It's still a year and a half later is still my favorite. Wow. If I had to pick one that's, I think Shomron might be my other favorite. That's like a vineyard autumn scent with pipe smoke and corn husk and vanilla chrysanthemum. So that's probably number 2 on my list. Just because.
Holy moly, dude. That's amazing. That profile sounds absolutely amazing. Wow.
Like all his profile, all the scents that he has are just something that you've never really even heard before, that people have never used.
Yeah.
Holy moly. No wonder Joe's told me about you. I'm really good friends with Barbados Joe, and he absolutely digs what you're doing. And I was like, oh, that's, it's great, great. And I'm glad you really like it. And now I'm seeing why. Unique scents are amazing. Absolutely. I think that's like a top reason why one of the top reasons I get into this, into the reviews, is because of the scent profiles. They're, especially for unique companies, because it comes into art. There's an art form that goes into this, creating something. And I think the act of creating something for others to enjoy is such an amazing opportunity that you have to be able to share your visions and art with other people. I think it's awesome.
It's really fulfilling, and I have a good story about Barbados Joe, and he had reached out and he purchased some products, and he was going to do like an Instagram live review, and he messaged me and he goes, hey, Matt, I got, I just finished, he goes, unboxing your products. And I don't think he didn't smell any of the scents yet. But he goes, I just want to let you know that I did a stress test on your comb and it broke. And I went, oh, the company is finished before I even got started. And I was just like, I'm done. The combs. Like, I was so focused on him that he broke the comb. And then I got to watch the live. It was an instant reaction, and I mean, I got chills. I almost cried because it was such an amazing reaction. I still haven't had a reaction top that yet. So if anybody can go back to him doing a Christmas unboxing, which is essentially a Charo set, which is like a cinnamon sugar donut and an oatmeal milk and honey. I called it cinnamon toast crunch for a while, but it's kind of like a breakfasty scent. His reaction is still top notch.
Joe, honestly, and I think that I've known him almost 2 years now, and he is literally one of my favorite guys in the community. And it's just because of his outlook on life, as well as things like that, where if he likes it and he thinks, and there's some humor in it, a little bit involved, he just is really good about it. And his intentions are never to be harmful. And that's what I love about him, is he's just a really fun-loving guy that does really funny things and tries to get a laugh out of people. I love that. That's cool, man. That's cool.
So he's such a goofball. He shoots from the hip, but it's all fun. You can tell he's got, good heart, and he's hilarious. So I'm happy to be, working with him again soon too.
Oh, right on, man. Yeah, he's have you guys watched his new snack show?
I am
around the world.
Yeah, some of those things I'm like, oh, I wouldn't be eating that. And some of them seem kind of normal. I grew up in Britain, so some of the European food I'm not is like, oh, okay. But I did find, and this I'm going to try to promote this, but I don't think anybody else is going to go on with it. There is a fish challenge. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
Okay, so when you guys get off here, go look up. Oh, I'll have to give you guys the link to it. There is a fish that's in a can that they ferment, and it's from Sweden, and it's called the Fish Challenge. And they open it up, and I've seen one Canadian, but I've seen mostly British folks doing this. And they'll open it up, and just the smell. They said it's the stinkiest food on the world, in the planet, just the stinkiest food, because it's fermented 30-day-old lutefisk. So it's that lutefisk, which is that salty, gross fish already, and then they ferment it, and then people are eating it as a challenge. And there's people on there that are just not doing well with it.
I think somebody doing the challenge. I think on that there's a channel called LA Beast. And I'm not sure if anybody's seen his channel at all or his videos, but he does crazy stuff like that where he'll eat the most off the wall, crazy stuff.
Yeah, so this one, the one that we got, so I got woken up to this. So I just get this laughing hysterical because, and so then, it's like 6 a.m, and I get this video of, it's a family sitting down to eat, doing this challenge. So I'm thinking, oh, it's a challenge. Me and Caden have done a couple of those where we'll be doing a live stream and we'll eat. We bought some hot chips, like some sort of habanero chip from somewhere. And we did like a little live on Instagram and we had a fun time. So I thought, oh, they're adding their family. They opened the can and the kids just start leaving. They're like, I'm not doing this. There's like a little boy who's just like, I'm done. And the dad just starts throwing up everywhere. It's horrible. I'm 6 a.m. I see this is my 6 a.m. wake up call like 2 or 3 days ago to this family. And then I guess the smell's so horrid that this guy just couldn't even get past even eating it. It was, so then I had to share it with a few people.
No, isn't that fish? No, I never knew about a challenge, but I thought that maybe from Sweden that it was a traditional, I want like a holiday dish. And isn't this fish soaked in like lime or lye or something? And it's soaked in lye, like a caustic, like something for so long that even after they take it out, it has to be rinsed off for a certain amount of time.
Lutefisk, yeah, lutefisk, yeah. And then this is like lutefisk, but stuck in a can for a month to where it's actually bulging because of the bacteria that's in it and fermenting. So it's fermented. It's that fish fermented for a month in a can.
Okay.
And these people open it, and it's horrid. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. But I'm trying to get people to do this challenge because that would be funny. That's entertainment.
Like I remember seeing like just being bored and watching the Food Network or how it's made, and that's one of them too. Like that fish, but the challenge is that it's like they double it. Just like, this isn't terrible enough. Let's do more.
And people don't want the COVID vaccine.
But you want to eat that.
Fish, but
yeah,
the COVID vaccine.
That's funny. Yeah, that's. So anyway, that's my idea. I'm going to try to get somebody to do it. Christy said that she thinks that me and Caden should do it. And I'm like, no, we don't have enough people. We don't have enough clout. We got to get some bigger people involved with eating some really nasty, gross fish. I mean, I thought the pineapple thing from Joe. Did you guys watch the pineapple eating thing that Joe did a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
You thought that he was eating that fish. That's what I thought. I was like, that's the same reaction that he was having.
Trying to eat a bunch of pineapple?
Yeah, he was just eating some pineapple.
Like, he dislikes pineapple so bad it would probably make him throw up. Like, that's how bad
it almost was. It's just, and I think it's texture. It has to be texture because I can't get past because pineapple's so good. but it has to be something to do with maybe texture too, because people are texture. You know, if you don't have a good texture, yeah, it's gross to them. It's like slimy to them or something.
Yeah, typically olives is on everybody's, like olives and mushrooms are on everybody's list. But pineapple for texture, it tastes so amazing.
I love it.
So pineapple on pizza? Are you a pineapple on pizza? Are you okay with that, Matt?
I feel like pineapple on pizza is blasphemy. But you know, I'm always open to like a great theme pizza. Like, so if there's like a theme pizza with like jalapenos, and Hawaiian's not my thing. Honestly, I don't eat pork for spiritual reasons, so no bacon, ham. But like, yeah, you put pineapple with, you know, a bunch of different crazy things on there that I like, and it's got a theme to it. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's not something like that I order, but I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna order. I don't order every time I order pizza. You know what I'm saying? I don't order pineapple on pizza every time I mean, I will eat it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Hawaiian pizza or whatever, it's got a topping that I like on it, and it's got pineapple. Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
Right. Well, I could bet you could guess who in my family probably eats pineapple on that's his pizza is pineapple. I have pineapple Caden in my house. That kid, every time it's like pineapple. How do you not get tired of that? Can you get me the one with the pineapple on it? I'm like, like nobody else literally eats that, Caden. Nobody else wants it all the time. You like once in a while. Favorite theme pizza ever. Favorite theme pizza. I think that's a really great idea. I love those.
If I had to choose a favorite theme, I mean, growing up as a kid, middle school, Mexican pizza, taco pizza. But as an adult, buffalo chicken pizza. I mean, that's the go-to.
Yeah, that is a really good one. That is a really good one.
Cheeseburger pizza.
Yeah, I've had that. I think I've had as many pizza. I don't like sardines on my pizza. It's pretty much the only one, or you know, I'm not into that. And they don't really you know, remember that was like a thing when we were growing up, that like sardines on a pizza was like, oh, I don't hold the anchovies. So it wasn't sardines, it was anchovies. I was like, I don't know any place that actually serves anchovies. I mean, it just wasn't a liked item. I don't know where, maybe it was an East Coast thing or something in some area that they just couldn't hold. Because like lox for bagels, that's like a very East Coast New York thing, lox on bagels. And you don't find, you know, if you have a company that sells it, they're from New York or something, maybe they'll have lox, but most of us don't like that stuff.
Ooh, Everett, mac and cheese pizza.
Mac and cheese. That sounds really interesting.
How was that not good? How was that not good?
See, I think pizza almost has, like, you can pretty much put anything on a crust. I like I've had some good seafood pizza where it has that white sauce, that like it's a white cream sauce.
Yeah, bechamel or like a
bechamel,
Alfredo,
like an Alfredo sauce kind of thing, right?
Yeah, like a spinach, like chicken spinach pizza or something like that. You know,
right.
Yeah, I mean, keeping with the theme of the show, dessert pizza, right?
Oh,
yeah. There you go.
Have you guys had really good dessert? I've had some where I'm just like, okay, that's like some jam on a pizza. Okay, great. But then I've had some other ones that I'm like, yeah, this is really good.
They're even like cinnamon roll pizza.
Yeah, those are good. Those are really good.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. I like the ones that have like something like cinnamon roll. I think cinnamon roll is my favorite. I've had the ones that are almost like they're really thin, and it's almost like Kringles. If you've ever been to Wisconsin, there's this company that sells, they're like Kringles, and they're just perfectly like a pastry. So it's like almost like a pastry with the cherry filling inside of it, with like kind of just a real thin topping of or a thin crust on it, like a pastry crust type of thing. I love that. That's really good, with a little bit of that, bit of that cream cheese or something.
James can probably vet this comment, but we're from Florida. We don't really do anything good. we kind of take everybody else's idea and try and do it, and then it's just average. But like everybody like around the country does everything better, and then Florida just does it worse.
When I think about Florida, I think Cuban. That's the one thing that I will say that is something unique to Florida that they do well. But that's more in the Miami area, right?
Yeah.
Tampa's very big Cuban influence too. There's a lot of great Cuban sandwich places in Tampa. So yeah, fresh just for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the one. When I think about what is there, I don't think of a lot of like a huge seafood influence, even though that is next to the coast and there's a lot of shrimp and there's some stuff, but I don't think of it like the East Coast. You think of like lobster in Maine. You have like some of the East Coast, like the clam chowders in New England, and then you go down a little south. You got some of that stuff that's in in those areas, and then clams or oysters or whatever. But I don't. Shrimp, maybe shrimp kind of a thing out of the Gulf. I don't know. Gulf shrimp is kind of a thing, right?
I like to say that it's probably grouper is real big.
Grouper.
In Tampa. Grouper, just because that's, it's like a grouper season. It is everywhere. So that would probably be the Gulf of Mexico delicacy is grouper for sure.
Nice. Have you guys ever done those boats? Go ahead. Go ahead, James.
So one thing I haven't had in a while is stone crab. Stone crabs are awesome.
Those are good. I agree. My favorite, I love seafood. Now, I don't like it as much as like chicken or beef, but I grew up in the Southwest, so there wasn't really a lot of good selection out here. Yeah, but or the Midwest. Midwest definitely doesn't have any good seafood. But you grew up in Columbus, and Columbus has some different cuisines, and I think I always thought, well, maybe it's because of the college town. I don't know. I'm assuming you're a Buckeye fan growing up in Columbus. No?
The biggest, for sure. Yeah.
I don't think you can not be from Columbus. I have friends from Columbus, and they die, they're Buckeye fans for life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Irish fan, so of course I have to give her a little bit, because we used to be in the same. Well, it used to be something that was a rivalry, and now we're just kind of we're in the ACC. So
yeah, that's one of my scents is a Buckeye themed scent. It's a chocolate peanut butter, like a screwball whiskey, peanut butter whiskey, chocolate, a little bit of coffee in that. Yeah, so I do have a Buckeye scent as well. So
right on, that's cool. So did you go to Ohio State?
Did not. We moved when in middle of high school, so I went to University of South Florida.
Oh, okay, USF.
And, yeah, that's so. That's.
I knew a lot of people that went to UCF, the Central Florida. Yeah, I mean, it was UCF or something, one of those acronyms. I think it was UCF, because it's near Sarasota or something like that. I can't remember. It's in that area. But yeah, that's really cool. So what did you major in college? What was your dream? You were like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, and then realized that most of us realize very quickly we're not doing that for the rest of our life.
Well, I'll tell you what, I do love irony, and I guess this is probably a good irony because I dropped out.
Nothing wrong with that.
I wanted to go for business, and then I dropped out, and then now, ironically, I own a business. So there you go.
Yeah. So this is my story. I have a good friend that is a math professor at University of Bakersfield, and I did math in college. I had to take the required statistics class, and I hated stats. And what am I doing for a living? Doing stats all day long. And I'm just like, man, how did I end up in that? Like, of the things that I did not want to do in life, I'm doing stats for all of my. That's what I do. I do IT work, but a lot of what I'm doing doing with metrics and things like that are all stat related. So it's just funny how that works out. Like, now your business, you've been in business for 2 years. You said a year, 2 years?
Probably a year and a half now.
I thought it was right in the middle. I was thinking I didn't want to assume, but what has been your most favorite thing about having a business?
This sounds silly, but wearing your own shirt, wearing your own t-shirts.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I got the hat on. Yeah.
I think that's become my favorite thing, is being like creating something and me really liking it and be like, oh, I'm going to put that on a shirt. I could wear that. Like, and just, and then just getting to, it is surreal when you just walk around and you're like, that's my thing on the shirt I'm wearing. Like, it's just weird.
Repping your own shirt. I think that repping your own shirt is cool. I would always love, because Dan has this happen occasionally and a few others that I know, seeing somebody else repping your shirt. I would love to have, like, I have, whatever it is. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that big. Yep. I have some of my local friends that, have tried the products and love them. Obviously they've all purchased shirts or hats or something, but
oh, cool.
I don't think I would ever run into anyone that had purchased, apparel and then be like, oh, that's me. I don't, but just honestly, just the reactions I get, it's probably my favorite thing, is just like being blown away by the such positive reactions when someone tries a scent that honestly may not be one of my favorites. And I'm like, oh, I don't really like this that much, but it's gotten some good reviews and feedback. And then when somebody's like, this is the best thing I've ever had. And, and it catches you off guard, and it's something you don't expect. And it's just, they tell you, you have a customer for life, whatever it is. That's just so overwhelmingly positive. So yeah, that's another great aspect of doing what I do. And, the relationships too. I like James and, being able to meet up at Hooters or just call and joke around and kind of, ball bust for 30 minutes. That's
right.
Building relationship. Also amazing.
Yeah, I try to explain that to people. Why do you do this beard thing? And I'm like, there's a different thing about men that, having that kind of connection, that male bonding thing, where you can just call somebody up, tell them, some crazy stuff, and then hang up the phone. I love that. I love the ball busting. I think that's always fun. I've had to learn how to do that better over the years, because I was one of those guys. I had one friend that would just be like, just ball busting you, and I would come up with like hurtful things to say. Well, your mom's ugly. And you're like, okay, buddy. Okay, yeah, no, you shouldn't have gone there. Well, you said mean things.
Yeah, I think that all happened like when I was younger. You hone that skill a little bit. You don't have that governor when you're a teenager, Now you can go like, don't say that. But still, you can be like, but you could push it a little bit, and it might get a good laugh. But like, as long as everyone knows your personality, then let them rip.
That's right. That's absolutely right. I think that's what's good about this, that you can take yourself not so serious sometimes. I think it's a good thing. Yeah. So how is the weather these days? I hear that it's 85.
You want to take this one, James?
It wasn't that today. It was pretty nice out.
Yeah.
It was nice. I wish it was like this every day. But
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it was like 70s, mid 70s, but like lower throughout the day.
That's cool. So you've been in Florida, so you decided to stay in Florida, of course. And then I have kids that are okay. Van, what are you doing, bud? Sorry. Van just took a shower. He's about ready to go to bed. So he's like, hey, I'm taking my bath. And now he's trying to go out. So Van's my grandson. He's been, his dad kind of moved in about 3 or 4 months ago. So we've had the opportunity to visit with him a lot more. It's so fun. I love being a granddad. That's like, talk about like my favorite thing in my life. Being a grandparent is like tops. Just absolutely the tops, because I didn't expect that. Like what them having, like raising them was fun, but them having their own kids and then doting on those kids and then giving them back after you spoil them rotten, that's the best. you know,
Right.
and I just give them toys and then walk away. Here's some ice cream. Bye.
Just no repercussions from what you what you do to not.
Right.
Yeah,
sugar, whatever. Like, see you later.
That's right. You get to spoil them, and then I realized that I was like, yeah, we give Van gets ice cream every day that he comes home, so we're just like. Hopefully nobody saw that.
we're getting flagged already here on YouTube.
Yeah, did you see that? That's crazy. Okay. Hopefully nobody saw that. No nudity allowed, but Van just said, hey, I'm going to let it all hang out. So yeah, he's a funny kid. So anyway, so yeah, that's my grandson. You got to see a lot more of my grandson than most people want to see. Christy.
Yeah, so the weather is it's great.
Beautiful weather.
Even wear clothes. Wall.
It's really nice out here. Yeah, it's really nice in Arizona. Apparently too nice. So don't you wish those are the ones where you like go, hey, these lives, I wish I could actually edit these like just a little bit. And then it's like, nah, it's part of the live. Got to keep it going. So, so do you guys, Matt, do you have any kids? Are you married? Are you single bachelor? What's going on?
Single bachelor. I have one dog.
Dogs are good. What kind of dog?
He's a black lab.
Oh, I love labs.
So, cool. Yeah, I mean, like a perpetual 3-year-old in a way. You know, yeah, that's about it. So yeah, not married, no children yet, but again, it's whatever God brings my way. I don't really have any expectations. I feel like if it hasn't happened yet, then God's telling me it's because I'm not ready for it. So
right.
But
that's truth. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to disagree and be like, but I think I am ready. And he's like, no, you're not. But
you know, yeah, always in due time. I think that's the things that, you know, I have, those are definitely a good spiritual belief to just let things just be, you know, and just let them be in that same space that, you know, it's just something's gonna happen and I can't force it. This is just like letting it happen, and letting life happen for you is so important. So you don't stress out. And I forget sometimes, you know, especially during pandemic, I'll tell you, you can get really stressed out mentally because of just being locked up in your house all the time. It's so stressful at times, especially, I mean, you get to get out, James, but it's still quite a bit of like, but you see the layoffs and some of the stress that's behind that. That's a little nuts. Now, Matt, I don't know, what's your day job?
I'm a mail carrier for the United States Postal Service.
Oh, awesome.
So they've kept us crazy on the outside. So we're not, you know, and that's been, you know, other than just, you know, obviously Christmas and the election and everything like that, as far as the craziness, that's been, everyone's going to disagree, running kind of the way it always has. We haven't really changed anything. It's always fun. It's always busy. And, you know, they always keep you thinking and on your toes. So I love it. That's also that's a career that I love as well. So, and it's afforded me the opportunity to start Bay Area Beard Co. and also be more comfortable in starting and running and growing this company at my pace. You know, I know some people will laugh at me because I took almost a year to release a website, but I was having so much fun. You know, James will tell you, it's like, when are you going to release the website? It's like, I don't know, but I made another cent, you know.
So I was like, what list do you have? I'm like, you know, like, here's the list. I'm like,
yeah, there's 20 of them. It's like, well, do you have a website? It's like, no, but these are all awesome. Yeah, I
got some stuff. Now, what I really thought was unique about your products is they come in some really cool bottle protect, like a total, like almost like a scroll is in it or something. It's pretty cool.
That's it. Kind of just, again, you know, when I started the company, I left room for growth and to kind of morph into what it would eventually be. Like the stamping of all the product with wax now has turned into, a wax look sticker with the name on it. So it's kind of evolved into that. And didn't, I think that because I used to stamp it, it does look like a scroll, but those are just, cosmetic tubes, chapstick, lipstick, they can come in those as well. So stuff like that. And just kind of and something I wanted to add to be different. And, it does have a biblical scroll type look to it, but
love that.
Just a little extra added aesthetics to kind of catch everybody's eye.
I love that stuff. That's kind of my thing. I love things like that. James, what was your first impressions of his scent, his company? What was it that you really were drawn to?
The packaging. Like so the tubes kind of brought me in as well to getting to know more of the company itself and the scents. He was just first starting out, and he was like, "What kind of scents do you like?" Whatever. Obviously, cherry tobacco was one of my favorites, and I actually still have a little bit of that left. He actually made me, and it's like it's like a tobacco absolute or something like that. He made me a couple of them, different renditions of cherry tobacco, but yeah, it just his overall demeanor and is just a positive outlook on the company. And even like I said, even him just coming out and not knowing really what he was doing, still it was like he was coming out like guns blazing. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's still going up in the I'm saying he's still learning as he's going. But you see it the progression in the company.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah, James, he speaks pretty highly of me for not really even having any, probably what I like to think of as my good products. He got, I think, the butter before it was even whipped, and it wasn't even in real packaging. He got, a couple different scents, but they were just in like a traditional, amber bottle. He doesn't have any of the products new with the new stuff, and so I feel bad that he's talking so highly about me, and I know I'm going to give him a reason to.
Well, you start to see it from the bottom to where it is now. You know what I'm saying? So where it is now is obviously better than what it was. So
yeah.
How cool is that though? How cool is that you have that type of, I've seen some people in the chat room like Daniel the Bearded Apprentice and some of the other folks that have been following you for a bit here, and it sounds like you got what a good fan base. That's awesome.
It's to call them fans. I like to refer to them more as friends. Cool. And because I can be a fan, and again, it's art. So of other companies that I've tried, like Hanyaker and Last Looks, and now Weird Beard, and there's a couple of the big boys I want to try because I'm a fan. Being an artist, and and having everyone like my stuff, it's almost what's the analogy? Like you can't smell yourself. Like it's like one of those and so I'm almost used to my stuff. I was like, I really want to enjoy other products and their artistry. So in that way I could be a fan. So
right.
So yeah, I appreciate everyone that supported me and become friends with and talk to on a sometimes daily, weekly basis. Yeah, I never expected it. It's all been such a blessing.
That's a big thing. Blessings are this, that's really what this is. I think it's awesome to have the opportunity to share with other people. And I think that is a blessing. You're absolutely right. Very cool.
It is. Just being on here and be asked by James to be on here with you guys and to meet you and to hang out. This is fun.
Yeah, totally.
And so I appreciate it. Every tiny little second I get to grow or get better or to have to share the products with people, it's again every tiny little bit is just like when I get a sale, it's exciting, every single one. So yeah, it's not much to
Very
say.
cool. That's really cool, man. I dig it. Totally dig it. So we've hit a lot of different things. We hit I'm trying to think of any other. Do you have any other things, James, that you wanted to kind of wrap up with? It's getting to
Do you have any other things that you?
Anyway, no, I mean, I think we covered a lot of them. I think it's
right. Is it what's new? What is coming out? What's future look like for you, Matt?
froze.
Did he freeze? Did I freeze?
Oh,
no, there we go.
We're all kind of freezing there.
Yeah.
I do have a conditioning wash coming out.
Oh, cool.
Very. No telling how long I'll be practicing it, but the conditioning wash is probably the next big set. Also, is going to follow. New extras, new swag, new labels, new packaging. That out as well within the next couple months, and then from there, just kind of goes.
Sweet.
That is very cool. Must be some storms or something going on. Internet, you gotta love it. We had an outage yesterday, actually. So, what a bummer. Are you guys? Am I froze? Am I who's froze? I don't know.
Probably if I'm frozen. No, I know you're kind of spotty, Matt.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I was like, hey, is it me? Is it them? Is it? I always hate that but so a conditioning wash, some new labeling. Sounds like just some really, I love that about watching a good company kind of grow and then putting some new stuff out, seeing what works, what doesn't, new marketing. Yeah, that's fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he is officially frozen.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at some of the
Yeah.
Chris said let's see here. Chris says we're good, but that's on his side.
Oh, okay, bummer.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Am I the one here?
It was working fine, and now we can hear you fine. So how weird. We had an outage. I was in the middle of a.
Maybe that's.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's it. I sat yesterday. I was in a very important thing, and the system went out on me. my house went out electricity wise, and it was extremely important that I was on this. I was able to somehow get the call onto my phone, and then there was no power, so my phone was about ready to die. I was at like 5%. I had to go into my car and sit in my car for the rest of the meeting.
Just the outage.
Yeah, who knows why. It was like, some sort of outages in Arizona for a bit.
My cousin had to go through that because she lives in Texas, so she was in through that whole snowstorm kind of thing.
Wow.
Oh.
And so I think they live in like an apartment complex or something like that world. Like they had lost power, and she had to go. Like her and her daughter had to go to her car, and like plug her phone in. They were watching movies and stuff like that on like the phone or in the car or something like that. And so I think they actually spent the night in the car because they didn't have any power. So
that's scary.
Yeah,
it was some scary times. I'm so glad that it sounds like they've gotten, things are kind of better now, but it's, thank goodness, it's just prayers out for anybody out there in the middle of that. There's a lot of folks that are from Texas in our community that were hit pretty hard by this. And it's, always sad to see that. And I do hope they make some sort of efforts to kind of not have a situation like that again, whatever the politics, whatever, I don't care. To me, it doesn't matter as long as we get people maybe, doing something. I found out the other day that we have like some of our power grids are like 100 years old.
Really?
Yeah. Like the ones back east. And there's like, I guess the biggest outage creator is squirrels.
Yeah.
Really, like falling onto the line?
Eating the lines. Yeah, they eat the lines. For some reason, squirrels just like they'll be fine. And they say, and they're always like, yes, the squirrel past tense ate the line.
Yeah,
That was
right.
the last thing that the squirrel did alive was ate the line. And then but it causes a power outage like in a huge amount of area because of it's because it shorts out the grid. It's crazy.
Like suicide mission.
Yeah. He's like kamikaze squirrels.
Yeah, you're right. Just how bad the infrastructure is in some areas when there's an issue that happens. It's really sad.
Right, it is very sad, actually. Yeah, I try to make light of it, but it is actually it's something that we need to work. So
yeah, I mean, not even because of the squirrels, but just yeah, it's something that when you want to talk about the weather, like we don't really have room to talk here in Florida. We seem to, it's really nice. We can't really complain. It gets hot in my mail truck every once in a while, but I'll take that over the snow any day of the week. So,
well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Go ahead, James.
I'm saying I don't know if I could handle the snow. Especially the amount of snow that I've seen, just I couldn't do it.
I live in Arizona, so we have less weather than I don't get hurricanes or anything. I mean, we get the monsoons, but lately, whatever the reason is, call it whatever, we're not getting as many monsoons. So it's just pretty much either hot or 80, 70s, 80s. During the winter, it's 70s, 80s. During the summers, it's like 100 to 120, depends on the, month. But yeah, luckily it's 85. It was really hot today. And I just am like, I don't want to wait. That means the summer's coming up again.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah. You guys get that humidity though. I was always like 90 degrees with humidity or 115. I don't know. I think I would probably take the 95 with humidity.
I was in Las Vegas, Nevada, probably for like a 30th birthday party. And I mean, this is definitely a long time. It's an old story, but it had been the first time I think I was in Las Vegas, and it was in June, and you're talking about 95, 100 degrees, and you could walk around and you don't sweat, in the direct sunlight. There's not a cloud in the sky when you're talking. No one's sweating, and it's nice. It's comfortable. I'll tell you what, you're here in Florida, and you cannot stand still. That humidity sits on you, that you have to move around just to be comfortable, and that's it. 80 to 85. So I think I would trade with you, and I would take the dry heat over.
I feel you. I haven't been in the humidity in a long time, and that's maybe why I forget. I lived in Missouri, and it would get to 95, and there was a lot of humidity because we lived next to some lakes, and I remember it being pretty miserable. But I don't know, 115, 120. I think after 115, I think that's when it's just unbearable. Like you just don't go outside, you don't do anything. Your AC is running extra high. There's people that actually have their ACs go out in that type because it's just working extra hard all summer.
Really?
And you just don't go outside. But I don't have any of the obstructions. Like it's hot. It's like the reverse of winter, where it's like, okay, so it's winter for Arizona because it's so hot. We don't leave, but I can. I'm not snowed in. I'm not icy. I don't have icy roads. I'm not shoveling any sunshine around. Right. So I don't know. Do you guys get hurt by the hurricanes though?
We get sometimes the hurricanes we're like in that area where sometimes we might not get the hurricane. It might kind of come through that area, like the middle. Mm-hmm. But usually it kind of goes through like the more the east coast. Well, it might get hit a little bit worse than us sometimes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We're in that kind of the Gulf of Mexico area, so it's really like has to be one of those perfect bowling ball pockets type of hits. Yeah, I mean, plus, yeah, I mean, being a little inland as well too. It kind of helps, but it really has to be like one of those perfect hits, which we almost had a couple of years ago.
Yeah, my cousins were in Sarasota, and they had the pictures of their like power lines going down onto their cars and stuff like that. It was really scary for them. And they stayed. I mean, it wasn't so bad that they still stayed. So there wasn't evacuation orders, or maybe there was, and they just stayed. I don't know.
I think there was like around, they would give evacuation to certain areas or something like that. But
maybe
some
that's
people
it.
just stuck it out and wrote it out.
Yeah.
My cousins. Yeah. But so it is 7:20 or on my time, 9:20 your guys' time. I don't want to take away from your guys' life anymore. And this has been just a blast talking to you.
Oh
yeah. And we've talked about future. We have some awesome labels coming up, some conditioning wash that's going to be released soon. Is there anything else that you would like people to know about your company?
I couldn't say that there would be. Not that anyone has tried and found out on their own. Just handmade, high quality products that I really do like and use all of my own products, and absolutely do enjoy them and enjoy creating things and listening to customers and feedback to try and create things that that, like the whipped butter was something that everyone said I need to have, and then co-wash next. So this is fun for me. It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like a business. This is, again, coming on, hanging out with you guys. And, this is the first, other than meeting up with, James, such a long time ago, like this is the first time we've like, other than one other time, like gotten to hang out in a while. So
yeah,
cool.
And so this is super fun. I mean, that's not much more I can say than the Instagram or just anyone that talks to me can get from me personally.
Very cool. Very cool. And I really appreciate you coming on. It is, we enjoy the fact that we have the opportunity. I know me and James talk about this. We enjoy the opportunities to meet with some really good owners. And I'll be honest with you, this year we've been selective. I mean, we'll miss a week so that we can get some good, good talent, but good discussions on. And you were one of them. James is passionate about what you're doing, and I think that's what we were all about. So we may not do a stream every weekend, but what we're bringing to people is people that we love. And I know that James was really excited about having you on. I'm glad that you have been on. Just some really good discussion. I'm going to have to go. It just means that there's another part of my pocket. I need to go get another second job just for the beard products, or I need to get these reviews starting to, make some money. Come on, guys. I need to get the Amazon affiliate to buy some more of these beard products. Because we've had Turnbull, right?
Yeah.
Turnbull tonics. We had him, and I have to go try him. Now I have to go try you. So he keeps bringing people that I now have to go try because they just sound absolutely amazing. The scent profiles blow me away. I haven't seen that good of scent profiles, and there's a few companies that's the reason why I follow them. Chesapeake Beard being like one of them that I follow him because his profiles are like, he's a beard mixologist like yourself, coming up with unique scents that nobody else is coming up with. This isn't your pine tree smell.
Right.
I mean, I heard chrysanthemum. Is that what you said that you was in one of those? That's freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's a Sumerian vineyard, autumn rain, corn husk, pipe smoke, and Vanilla Kiss Chrysanthemum is that profile. And that was the essentially my fall scent that I chose to go with. So that one's about 6 months.
No pumpkin spice in there.
Yeah,
no. That's but when you and that's the one thing. But think about that. Think about how incredibly hard that is to make a decision that says I am going to just go all out there and make something that nobody else has seen. To me, that's so ballsy to be able to go out there and say I'm going to try something that nobody else and see what they like, and it could flop. It could. But having the ability to say, I'm just not going to put pumpkin spice out. Not that there's anything wrong with pumpkin spice or a derivative of pumpkin spice, but that's the safe bet, right? That's the safe bet. I have a couple of companies that don't do that. And you're one of them now that says, I'm not going to take the safe challenge. I'm going to make something unique, especially for like a fall scent. There's a couple out there that, they all follow kind of the same stuff, Christmas the same way, but coming up with something unique like that has some really good chutzpah to it. I love it.
I mean, don't give me too much credit. I did come out with a Halloween scent that had pumpkin in it. It wasn't spice, but it was kind of like a pumpkin oud tobacco. It's like a boozy.
Still pumpkin oud tobacco. Really, that's awesome. Thinking, okay, I got to go the fruit. So the fruit would be the pumpkin, that higher note kind of, and then you have those darker notes of oud definitely being a cologne, almost making it a cologne pumpkin tobacco. That's just freaking amazing. I love things like that, and it's risky. It's risky to do it, and it's awesome when they do it well.
Yeah, I used a fragrance as like a library and then an Egyptian musk. So it had like a dusty feel to it as well. So I try and put spins on scents that you haven't really seen. Like the Christmas scent was I believe it's pronounced sufgania, which is a Jewish jelly donut eaten during Hanukkah. And I combine that with gingerbread. So it's like a Christmas and Hanukkah combination.
I love it.
So there are little things I like to do that like I haven't seen. If somebody else has done it, I try and go a totally different route with it so that, it for the very least, you're looking at my company or my products because it's something you haven't seen before. It's something you don't have on your shelf. Right. And that's a reason to put it there. If anything else, then you end up liking it, which is another great reason.
Yeah, you got me sold. I definitely have a new fanboy now for sure from me. I absolutely love stuff like that, and I love your story, man. We totally appreciate it, but I enjoy somebody who's sharing their life and their, especially spiritual goals. With others, because I think that makes a huge impact in a world that is so shut off to things like that at times, and nobody wants to talk about it at times. It is still risky to go out there with that, just like I knew it was risky to be the bearded practitioner, teaching meditation and Buddhism to people. I knew that was risky doing that, but having the ability to say, hey, but this is who I am, and still going out there and making it and it goes along with your sense too. I think that's awesome. So I'll shut up now, but I think it's just awesome. I dig that. I very much well dig that.
And trust me, it's something that I also like to, for the box set I don't have a cologne scent yet. And, even though James got, a cherry tobacco a year and a half ago, I never finished creating that type of scent. Well, that's what Titletown is. Titletown is a cherry tobacco scent that I finally was able to be happy with. And
that's cool.
In the new box set, there will be a cologne scent. There's a lot of stuff that I've seen a lot of that I haven't been able to create something that screams me. So like leather, cedar wood, there are certain things that are really typical in the beer community that are all great scents. And I have a couple that I really love that I wanted to be different with that I haven't created yet. So a cologne scent is coming.
Oh, very nice. And cologne is one of those ones that is, you can put oud with it and make it kind of cologne-y. But to make it yourself without those prepackaged ones, I've had a lot of the prepackaged ones where it's like the scent, this is, whatever it is, Polo Red, whatever that you can get out of those companies. But blending your own is difficult, very difficult. I've seen some people do it well, and I've seen some people that didn't do it well. And I'm a big cologne person, so doing a cologne well with the right. And it depends on if you like musky. I'm not a musky. I'm more of that grapefruit, like on that side of the fence, where it's more like like light blue. So I like those more than I like the musky, but I can still get down with the musky. I get it. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that when my chemistry with musk doesn't match, just like cologne wise. But yeah, very cool. So you're putting yourself out there again with some unique cologne scent that will be just probably blow everybody away again. So that's really cool.
I hope so.
I can tell it's
You don't want to also come out with something that is a staple in the beer community and not be good at it, like a barbershop scent or a cologne scent or an oud scent, or certain things that are just so popular that you're not good at. And I mean, that's why I've stuck to cheesecake and strawberry shortcake scents and stuff. It's because not a lot of people are doing it, and I'm good at it. But so that we'll see.
Putting yourself out there and risk is always awesome. And, you don't know what's going to happen, and it sounds like you're doing well. And the fact that James has been along the ride with you and loving it, that's awesome. Yeah. Any last thoughts, James?
No, first off, thanks for joining tonight as well. And we'll definitely have to get you on other nights as well. And I enjoy doing these live streams and stuff like that. I wish I had more time to do more live streams with everybody, because there's always fun. It's just interacting, laughing, and joking around and cutting it up. And it was always fun. But yeah, man, I'm just excited to see the growth of what you've been through, what you've started, to we are now. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Any last thoughts for you, for our viewers that are going to see you in the future?
No, just thank you to everyone that's already supported Bay Area Beard Co. and everyone that continues to do so. And everyone that was in the chat, and thank you, James and Andy, for having me on and continuing to create relationships and make the ones I'm already a part of better. So I can't say enough. It's the typical things you say, but everything really means a lot. So thank you very much for letting me come on.
Oh, totally, man. Totally do. So this is Matt with Bay Area Beard Company, but to find him, you need to go to biblicalbeards.com. So very awesome website. Sounds like he has some amazing, absolutely. I'm going to have to go check out scents. He's got two of my favorite guys saying he's knocking it out of the park. So he's got Barbardo Joe's way over approval, as well as James.
Whatever.
So go check him out, guys. This is an amazing opportunity to be able to try out an artist and somebody who's really involved with our community. So I really appreciate your time, Matt. Good times. And thanks for being able to share your story with us.
Thank you.
Yep. And for everybody else who joined us, thank you. I see Andrew Carlisle. I see all sorts of really awesome people.
Andrew.
Yeah, that's cool. Sorry we were taken off, but definitely catch us on the flip side. There's a couple segments that I may have to edit depending on what's in it, but we'll see. I might be downloading this and putting it up in a little bit. I don't know, but we'll talk to you guys later. What a blessing this was to have Matt on, and James again. Thanks for coming on in and being part of our show. This is awesome. I really enjoyed the fact that you grabbed Matt. This was a fun time.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm letting Matt be the guy this year. so he can go find some. And he's found. I mean, blow you away, people, blow me away. I am just so happy. So you know, I've tried a lot of the people that we did last year, and this year I'm like, man, I gotta go buy more stuff. This is so awesome. So again, thank you guys for coming on in, and Matt, again, thank you. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.